Hey guys, I'm Gary the Gremlin, but I can't deal with that now. Today we're going way back to the origins of this confounded robot franchise and looking at some weirdos that like 4 people will remember. Yep, for last year's 40th anniversary of the Transformers franchise, Hasbro made a deep cut, deep enough to touch bone, and brought out these bizarre freaks, Marvel Comics originals, XXARON and Autobot Flame. Starting with this amazing Genius box. The package art simply reuses the cover of Meltdown Part 1 from way back when, and ironically, it doesn't even show the faces of either bot included in this set. Opening the box gives us a great look at the figures inside and oh, where are they? Huh?
What the dog?
Anyways, each robot gets a little blurb about their life story and how they're feeling today and some classic artwork. There's actually artwork everywhere here. I mean, 5 out of the 6 sides of the box. Kinda crazy, but it's awesome, especially this new art on the side created by Guido Guidi. I think. I didn't check that. It looks like his art. Let me know if I'm wrong. It might just connect up with someone else's box, and shh, that's a secret for later. And actually talking about the guys in question, isn't this such a crazy showing? And I know what you're all thinking. I thought it myself once or twice in a moment of weakness. Front and center, that guy is made out of like 90% golden plastic syndrome. If you didn't know, GPS doesn't just stand for Global Positioning System. In the Transformers community, it stands for bad news. FYI, golden plastic has a history of breaking really easily, just straight turning to dust. And of course, XXARON here is almost entirely made of the stuff. And so what if he is? I don't need him to last forever. I'm not planning on lasting that long myself. Besides that, I'm pretty confident Hasbro and all the other toy companies have finally sorted out those kinks. There's hardly ever any problems with gold or brown brittle plastic anymore. I know it can take a few years to sink in, but just from handling this guy, I think we're fine and dandy. These two look gorgeous together, and they really match their comic book counterparts in an impressive way. XXARON, being a reuse of the refractor mold, is ingenious. It makes him the perfect size and gives him a proper boxy physique. Flame, as an extensive retool of Gamer Edition Megatron, is mind-blowing brilliance. Once you see it, it's a real slap your head, of course, why not I think of that moment. The remaining Gamer Megs details really help sell the comic book look. Those rivets and panel lines and asymmetrical sinewy details really mirror the art style of Robin Smith, who drew this version of Flame. Yeah, this is Transformers, of course. A character can be super niche, but I still have to specifically say what artist I'm talking about at any given moment, because, of course, there's a version of him that was a background character in some other obscure comic. Primus, this is a slag show. I might need to just stick to reviewing dinosaurs from now on. Deco-wise, Flame is sort of the standout here. Those carnival-style pantaloons and the big old Rodimus Flame decals really bringing the pizzazz. As far as I can tell, the thighs, chest, and head are all that's been resculpted from Gamingtron Megatron, but just that works wonders. I love his tubes. Those are pretty fun. And this head sculpt isn't that separated from Megatron. He's got a very evil grin stuck inside that suspiciously buckety helmet. Speaking of Megatron-adjacent head sculpts, we've also got XXARON in the room, who was not only inspired by the original toy Megatron for his hairdo, but his whole body. Look at him, he's got both the mug and the boobage. I know I just said it, but I'm assuming you're deaf, and I'm just gonna repeat things. His head quite literally is just the toy Megatron head, sans his helmet, and swap in an Iron Man mouth. Now, there's always been a discussion on how to pronounce XXARON's name. Do you say both A's out loud, or is one silent? Or are they both silent and you say it like XXARON? I think deep down we all know the right answer. It's XXARON. Either way, he looks right stunning here, decked out in his C-3PO glory. He's got the gold plastic, duh, we already covered that, but he's also got some very nice pearl plastic and a very shiny gold paint for some of the details. Both of these guys have got some rather interesting black paint lines meant to invoke the harsh contrasting colors of comic shading. For me, it works to varying degrees. They've also got some polka dots to resemble the comic art, and while on Flame you can barely see it, here on X it's pretty obvious. I get the argument some people have. We've Never got these characters as toys before, and it's a shame their only figures have this comic paint job. Alternate opinion, however, that's stupid. It looks awesome. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I love the attention to detail here. I'm stuck on XXARON's amazing head sculpt. It perfectly captures his look. I also love that signature little notch taken out of his testicular region. That's just perfect. One note, being a reuse of the refractor mold, he kind of inherits all his father's issues. I've never liked this mold, mainly due to the horrible arm joints. Is it possible to say they're on a double-jointed bin that works too well? This just is not what an arm should look like, I think. It never looks good in any pose but straight stalwart stoic because they're weird and gangly. And am I a big chump for letting that ruin the mold for me? Yeah, definitely. And it hasn't ruined it, that's a bad choice of words, it's just diminished the fun in actually handling him. Similar situation for Flame. While everything may look perfectly normal, he's got a horrible secret. Owners of Gaming Megatron will already know this, but these knees can't bend worth spit. This, yes this, is the furthest he can go while doing his morning stretches. Details on Flame are great. I love how asymmetrical he is. Really nothing is shared on the arms, which is amazing to me. I mean, the elbows and fists are of course the same. Don't be like that. No one likes a know-it-all. On one shoulder, he's got these tubes and pipes like the spire of a medieval castle, and on the other, a whole spiky man-door, hand-hook, car door situation. Again, I have to harp one more time, final time, about how good Flame looks. Gamer Megatron looks sad and pitiful with his dopey flat soap gray and his ineffective painted purple lights. Flame is full send on the colors, looking rad as hell. Literally, his color scheme is all fire and brimstone. Accessory-wise, Flame's rocking the leftover stuff Megatron had, just so much brighter and cooler. I tend to store this blaster around the back on his shoulder because it's just a little too Megatron looking to slap it on his arm, but thanks to the 3mm port system, you've got options. Emirate XXARON comes with so much junk, most of it barely disguised guff to help sell his alt mode. You can fit all of it onto him as a sort of gun and shield dealio. Hey, everyone, if you've got a fusion cannon, pull it out. I like the junk just fine, it's just not how I choose to display him though. All of that usually goes right back in the box, but we'll talk about it more later. Just kidding, we'll talk about it right now. Transforming XXARON is kind of like laying him down and attaching the kibble as to make him seem more vehicle-like. Flame is a bit more involved, crunching and contorting his torso in interesting ways and then wrapping his legs around everything to close it up. And wow! I'm blown away in both ways. There's completely different ends of the alt mode spectrum on play here. Flame's is great. XXARON's pure nonsense. This alt mode must be entirely why they picked Gamer Megatron as the base mold. It works perfectly to capture the sleek Cybertronian tank mode Flame sported in the comic. Yes, I wish the treads were actually treads, and that there were some more spikes, but given that this is a remold and not an original figure, I'm still very impressed. He can't exactly roll, being a hover tank and all, and neither can the turret rotate. But that's fine. This evil Autobot scientist is hell-bent on destruction, so none of that's necessary. All he needs is his massive cannon, and he's set. XXARON turns out a lot wackier. I'm really trying to love it, and it's almost there, but it's not quite. Just one more set of treads instead of those little skiffs would have just sold this for me. From some angles, it looks fine, but from others, you can all too clearly tell it's just X lying down. But this is all kind of okay in my mind. Rather famously, XXARON never transformed into his alt mode even. During his final battle with Flame, he briefly considers converting to his alt mode, but he realizes the shock after not having done it for so long might just kill him. In this way, I'm okay with him not transforming. I'm not gonna really ever transform him. He's one of those few where an alt mode doesn't matter to me. He might as well be an action master, cause he's just gonna stand on my shelf in bot mode and look pretty. Overall, I'm really happy with this set. These guys have both been done with a surprising amount of accuracy and love. This was the perfect gift for me for the Transformers 40th. It pays amazing homage to quite literally the most niche part of the franchise's history. Stay tuned, because a review of Straxus can't be that far behind. Subscribe, like this video, and comment your thoughts as well as what you want to see reviewed next. I'm GarrytheGremlin, and I'll catch you later.